Hey guys, what's up? This is 3D Japan, this is Phil, and today we're talking about modeling. No, not that kind of modeling. We're talking about working with this model. This is a garage kit that I picked up probably 20 years ago. So it's been kicking around the house for a long time, and that's why it's a little beat up looking. But this is a Misato from Evangelion, and if we open her up, she comes in parts, very nicely detailed, and so I thought, wouldn't it be cool, rather than putting her together, to scan her, put the pieces together in 3D, and then make it bigger, and we can print it on my Ender 3 and have a really big one. So let's get going with that. So in order to do that, I've got the Revopoint sent their new 2-axis turntable. So this one will rotate like the other one, but it will also turn at different angles so the scanner can see more of the model during the scan. It's pretty cool. The cord is not very long, so I can't move it any further out than here. But yeah, let's get the scanner plugged in. Okay, the scanner's plugged in. Now let's press and hold this button to turn this on. And we can see it starts tilting right away. I think that's some kind of calibration. Okay, that's ready to go. Scanner is still connecting. There we go. That's on. Move it a little bit closer. Alright, now let's put one of these pieces on here. Let's start with her main torso and head. And so you can use some of this blue tack that comes with the scanner, and that works great, but you have to go in and edit out any of the blue tack that's visible in the scan. I found something by accident that works even better. This bright neon green Play-Doh. I've been using this for scanning with other scanners for years, and it works great. It's not really as sticky, but what I found is that the scanner can't see this. So if I place this down on here, and I'm gonna smush her onto it, some of it is going to be visible around the sides, but on the scan it comes out as invisible. And that's just great. So let's start this up. You can see she's already on there, and this is a beta version of a new update to the software that will work with the new turntable. Also, the Mini, I'm not sure about the pop scanners, but the Mini needed a new firmware update. So let's start our scan. And so I'm going to use high accuracy scan in feature mode. No color, because this particular scanner doesn't have the color options because it was an early version that I got. Yours will. So you can do color if you want. And then down at the bottom, we can choose the 2-axis turntable. And press OK. And now we get the turntable options. And you can see it's not connected right now. It connects via Bluetooth. I believe the connection goes to the scanner, and then the scanner via wire or whatever goes to the computer. So, have our options here. So I've already got it selected. Let's click connect. I found for some reason I have to click connect twice every time so far. See what it does. Yeah, see, I had to click it again. But it always gets it the second time. Okay, now it's connected. We can see we can change the rotation speed. That was something a lot of people complained about with the original scanner or the original turntable, is that they say it went too fast. Well, with this one you can adjust it anywhere from 35 what is that, seconds per rotation, all the way up to 60. So 35 would be really slow. I think the default is 40. I'm going to put it there. And then down below we have the angles that it'll rotate at. By default we have horizontal 15 degrees and minus 15 degrees. Then if you want, you can add 20 degrees and 5 degrees, or you can change these to whatever degrees you want. But these are the defaults, and they seem to work fine. So I'm just going to use the first two there, and press close. And now we can adjust, it's a little dark, so we'll adjust our exposure to, I think 3 should be good. And then we can start scanning. It'll take a second, and then it starts rotating. So this is very different compared to the original turntable, where it just continuously rotates forever until you shut it off. This one will do one rotation, tilt, one rotation, tilt, etc., until the scan is done, and then it stops by itself. So we can see we're doing quite well up here. Almost done. The first rotation. Okay, and we stop and pause for a second. And we tilt. Pause. And then it starts rotating again. All right, and here I was talking about all the wonderful merits of this Play-Doh, and it looks like it actually is being picked up this time. I don't know why I didn't pick it up last time. Maybe it's the brightness in here. But yeah, with this, because it's tilting, you will need something to stick it on there, or else it'll just slide right off. Okay, and we're tilting the other way. And we'll rotate. Okay, it's done. It stopped rotating. It's going to level out. And it says the scan with dual axis turntable has finished. So now we've got a little option here to fuse the point cloud immediately. And I'm going to make sure that's turned off. And then we'll hit complete. And the reason that's turned off is we can come over to this fuse button and click the little side arrow. And now I can adjust how much this point pitch is. And I want it to be as low as possible. That's 0.02. So we'll get the best detail we can. Okay, close that, and then just click the main fusing button. And it'll fuse all the scans together. Okay, so that took about a half an hour, a little longer than you normally expect, because it had to do basically 3 scans from the different angles. So let's take a look at it. So it's not bad. It's not going to be perfect, but if we zoom way in, we can still see it is just a point cloud, but it is a very dense point cloud. Okay, so let's do the mesh. Let's see, I think over here we have the, maybe that is just the hair. I was thinking that bit of Play-Doh would be visible. Yeah, so it looks like it did work. Okay, so anyway, let's make a mesh out of it. Check the little side arrow here, make sure mesh quality is all the way up at 6. Denoise, I've got it set at 4. And then let's hit the make a mesh button. And I don't think this will take quite as long. Okay, the meshing is done. It really took like less than 15 minutes, I think. So let's take a look. We'll zoom in here. And overall, I think that came out very nice for being just a really quick scan with kind of imperfect lighting. This does work better with dim lighting. Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit. You can see there's the bottom. So, that looks really good. Check out her face a little bit. Yep, a couple of tiny little holes there, but I'm sure they'll fill in. Yeah, so the next step would be to save this and then take the model and flip it over and do the same thing to get the other side with all of her hair and her back. And then we would load both models up into Revo Studio and merge them together to make one model. And then we do that with the rest of the pieces. You see over here we've got a leg, we've got her butt, there's another leg, there's her left hand, left arm, and the right arm, and then we've got the bangs for her hair. So we'll scan all of those. I'm going to bring them into 3D Coat, do any little bit of cleanup that I might need to do, and then assemble them, make them all one model so it can be printed. Okay, here we are in Revo Studio. Let's quickly take a look at how to merge some of these scans that we did. There were separate scans for the same object. So come over here, and I've got my left arm, and I've got 2 scans for it. So let's take the first one, drag it in, and there it is. And I did use the marker mode, so it ended up scanning the markers as well. And you can see that I used some of that blue tack, and that is there, and obviously we don't want that. So we're going to have to delete that. So let's come up here to edit mode, or the edit tab, and I'll do the Lasso Selection. And so we have a couple of options here. Select by angle. So if I select this and then turn it around, you can see it only got from the angle, from the camera angle. So let's clear that. And if I turn that off, then it will go all the way through and get everything. It's kind of like backface culling if you know other 3D programs. Alright, so let's clear that. And we can start deleting some of these. And you don't have to hold shift or anything, just keep on selecting. So now we have a problem. I accidentally selected that. And I actually did do that by accident. So normally in most programs you would be able to hold a key like Control or Shift or something. So I'll hold Control and select, nothing. Shift, select, it just keeps adding. Here's Alt, select, it just keeps adding to the selection. There's no way to remove just a portion of it.
you have to come up here to clear selection or clean selections, and it deletes everything. So your choice is to either be really careful or to do it in small chunks. So select just a couple and delete, and a couple more, delete. Okay, so I'm going to just select all of these and delete. Oh, there's a couple hiding here. Whoop. Okay, delete. So let's zoom in here, and I'm going to select this, and it's okay if I get a little bit of the arm, because that bottom is already screwed up anyway, and our next scan will cover anything that's, or merging with our next model will cover anything that's cut out of here. So we just delete that. Come around to the other side and delete that. So this is what I was talking about with using that neon green Play-Doh, is the blue tack gets scanned, whereas with the Play-Doh, for some reason it doesn't see it, so you won't have to bother deleting all of this. So that's a really handy tip, I think. Let's get this just to make it a little cleaner. Okay, so we've got a little bit of mess in between the fingers, and I can try to get a little bit of that now, but I think it'll be easier to get a lot of it in 3D Code or whatever sculpting program you're using. So I'll get rid of a little bit. I don't want to get rid of too much. Okay. And just very carefully go around there and around here. Okay, so that's it for this scan of the arm. So now let's save this. Come up here, go to export, and I can see this is Misato L-Arm1 mesh. So we'll just overwrite it. If you want to be really safe, you could make it 1A or something. Save. Yes. Okay, now let's load up the other arm, or the other scan. It'll be L-Arm2. And we're just going to do the same thing again. Okay, let's save this arm. Go to export and Arm2 mesh. Okay, and now we've already got this one loaded, so we can add the other one to it. We'll come up to alignment and add file, and we'll pick L-Arm1. Alright, now we've got both scans loaded and a couple options to align them. We have feature mode, which works most of the time. If you really find that it's not working, you can try this marker points mode. And with that, let me see if I can find a spot. Say this thumb. Let's rotate this around a bit. And yeah, for some reason it does change it to a point cloud when you're doing the aligning. Okay, so let's look at around here. I think we've got a point that matches, say, okay, see here, this makes kind of like a V shape. So let's put a point right there. Oops, make sure to click this. And then we'll left click right there. It's okay, so it says 1. And then we'll try to find the same spot over here. I think it's about, let's rotate this around so it's facing the same way. Yeah, it's about right there. So now we have 1 and 1. And you'll want to go around and find similar spots. I don't know, maybe you could even do the tip of the thumb here. And that'll be 2 and then 2. And you want to find like 3 to 5 of these. But I happen to know for this arm we won't need the marker mode. So we're going to switch back to feature mode. And let's zoom out a little bit. And we just hit apply and wait for a moment. And wow, that was actually quite quick. So it merged the whole thing together. There's a little bit of a seam. You could smooth that out. Overall, it looks really good. Okay, and yeah, we will have to clean up between the fingers a little bit. But yeah, so now it is a point cloud. So we'll have to come up to the point tab and meshing. And in this case, I'm going to fill any holes that we have. And I'll set the level all the way up. There's more advanced stuff in here, but I find the basic seems to work. And just hit apply. And this will take a moment. Okay, we've got our solid mesh arm. It's completely watertight. And it's ready to save that out and bring it into whatever program you're going to be using next. Okay, so I've got all the parts loaded into 3D Coat here, all on separate layers. And so now we can start cleaning them up. And you can see there's a little bit of smoothing to be done. We've got a seam along here. Now some, like this mark along her knee, is actually in the original model, but I think I'll smooth it out anyway. Then yeah, we've got definitely a lot of her hair needs to be cleaned up. I had a lot of trouble scanning this hair. So this will need to be cleaned up down here. Some more around her legs. Again, just like the other hair, her bangs were really hard to scan, and I had a little bit of cleanup to do there. So yeah, and the shoulder is a little rough. So I'm just going to go in and start cleaning things up. Alright, you all ready for this? Bam! Look at that. This came out so cool looking. I cleaned up all the parts and then assembled them in their proper positions. Let's take a quick look. It's not perfect. There's a few small lumps, but I'm not sure that those will really be a problem with printing. I guess we'll see when it's printed. But yeah. So most of the parts, like this arm, go inside of something, like her sleeve or her legs go inside the dress. So there's not really much cleanup to do. All I have left is to merge all of these together and then clean up some of these edges, smooth them out, and then we'll be good. Let's take another look. Yeah, you can see there's still a few small lumps around here. I didn't do a perfect job smoothing it. But overall, it looks really good. One thing, like these lines coming down here did not come out very well in the scan, so I did have to manually paint or draw them, sculpt them in. The cross was not perfect, so I had to do a lot of cleanup on that. Like I showed before, the hair was a mess down at the bottom, so I had to do a lot of cleanup down here. But I think it came out looking pretty good. So I'm going to merge these together, smooth out some of the seams, and then we'll get it printed. Okay, well, here she is, all finished. I think she came out really well. It did take a little bit of work. Did have some problems back here and had to clean it up manually, as well as her bangs. Let me show for comparison. There's the original along with the new one. And there we go. And got them all fully assembled. Now, her bangs were very small and very detailed. So I did have a little bit of trouble there where I had to just put them on there and I didn't have it rotate at all. I just picked it up and manually moved it over. And that did the trick. So, you know, it's nice to have the turntable, but you don't always need it. So, there we go. This was printed in Printed Solids Jessie PLA. I love this. I've used it on a number of prints. Just for your like everyday prints, this is really good filament. And of course, the Revopoint did an excellent job. So yeah, that's it. If you liked this video, if you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. And I think that's it. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.